Namaste and welcome. In this video, we'll be going over Malasana. Malasana is technically a Garland pose. This is a squat posture. So if you have hip, knee, or ankle issues, this may not be the posture for you, or you might want to ask your instructor for some variations, get some professional adjustments on this. So know if you have hip, knee, and ankle, this may be something to study, but we'll have to work with whether or not it's something you participate in. So in Malasana, there's going to be a couple of variations. A lot of times this is done from a forward bend or an Uttanasana versus a standing pose. And you can use it really well as a forward prep or a preparatory posture for something like a Bekasana or a crane pose. So here, when we go down, there is a variation where you can work with the feet wider. The eventual variation is going to have the toes, the big toe touching. So you kind of know this. If you tend to be really tight in the hips or have things going on in the ankles, you'll want to grab a blanket. So here, I'll grab a blanket and show you this particular variation. So maybe I have something going on. So I'm going to take a blanket and have it available for me. A lot of times what this is, if I can't get my heels down on the ground in the squat, I do want to feel grounded. So I'm going to use that blanket under the heels as kind of a connection point or a grounding point to be able to do. So if we came from an Uttanasana, if I came from a forward bend, I'll give you both a side and a forward view. So if I had this forward bend view and I wanted to work into Malasana, I'll take the feet wider, maybe wider than the hips. And I'm going to work my torso down between the legs first. So it's really chest comes down and then my hips come down. So if I have this posture, I'm sitting down with the chest inside the hips. And once I come down, I can open those toes a little to aid the knees. That's fine. And I'm going to begin to sit the hips down. Now, if this is comfortable for me and I'm okay in the heels, then I can stay without the blanket. But if I tend to have really tightness in the legs and I can't get those heels down, then I'm definitely going to want to sit those heels up on a blanket. I am going to create a pressure here inside the legs. The legs are squeezing into the arms are pushing equally, and I'm using it so it is an active. It's not just a sinking pose. There's an activeness in the posture. So I am trying to pull in the core, push down through the feet, and open. This would be one variation. Now again, I said I'd show you a side view of this. So I can open up into the side view as well. Okay, you'll see I'm using the blanket. I can use the blanket with the other variation because my heels I can work the heels up. So I'm going to come back up Uttanasana, bring the feet together, and I can start coming more on the front, almost like a mock toe stand. But as I'm going to come down, I'm going to open the legs. Again, I'm going to bring the chest down first, and then bring the hips down. So I can come down. If I can, I get the third eye to the floor. If I'm able, I can reach around and grab the heels. Yes, I can move the blanket and bring the hip and the head towards the floor. This would be Malasana. If I was using this as a prep pose, we'll work on it next to go into crane. So I have a couple variations. Round, bring it down, but the heels, you're typically not backing down on the heels on this one. Up and forward for Malasana. To come out, shift forward and bow out. Bend the knees and stand, closing Samastitihi. Namaste.